Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm going to wait a few moments just before I begin, just so that anybody could tune in at the beginning. AL, yeah, man, I saw that the Cubbies clinching my division. Shoot, I don't even know how to feel about that, man. Like, you are a Cubs fan, right? You want to root for the Cubs. You want them in the postseason every single year. But we've seen how our team has played the last few months, and yeah, they're getting hot this last couple of series. They're starting to score runs and all that, but like I have absolutely zero hope or zero confidence that this team is going to score more than one run in any of the first two games. Personally, I kind of feel like the Padres are going to shut them out in both games, but no, man. Even home field advantage, I just don't see it. Now, with that being said, if the Cubs actually do succeed and make it past the Padres, then I'm going to feel a little bit more confident because once you get into the division series, I mean, we saw how 2015 played out, and they made it all the way to the championship series. So I'm kind of eager to see what this particular team can do. So I'm having like mixed emotions right now. Am I super excited? Absolutely. But then comes the heartbreak, right? When your team makes it to the playoffs and quickly eliminated, zero competition. So, all right, so yeah, and surprised I got my Mattel Retro Series 18 4-pack in the mail today instead of next week. Oh, badass. I I just popped up a review a couple days ago, and I don't know why it's happening, man. Like, this is why I go back and I watch my videos. So I had my Mattel Retro review video, posted, right? About, day before. Filmed the video, posted it, 9 a.m. my normal time, right? I decided to sleep in. So I didn't get up to watch that episode. When I finally did put the episode on, like this constant blinking throughout the video. And that's not the first time that's happened when I posted a YouTube video, but it's so freaking weird to see that. So I had to delete the video, which already had a bunch of views on it, and re-upload it. That sucks. But yeah, man, I kind of feel like the Mattel Retro Series 18 is probably going to be my favorite from the line. I mean, what have I listed as my number one favorite Mattel series? Because I know I did these videos in the past, laying them out. Probably when I was actually doing, the series by series, looking at all of Series 1, all the way up to Series 10, Series 13, 50, whatever. I'm pretty sure at some point during those videos I mentioned what series was my favorite, but I think 18 probably could have replaced it. Cubs aren't good at manufacturing runs, what you need in the playoffs. Yeah. You got Nico Horner, and you got Nico Horner. Not a power hitter. I was very surprised that he only had 7 home runs this season. And I mean, I know Nico. I mean, he's not Darwin Barney, Yes, he's a superstar Gold Glover at second base, but he's not a power threat. So you expect someone like a Darwin Barney to hit like 1 to 5 home runs a season. Nico Horner, I was kind of expecting him to be more of like a 12 to 15, maybe even a 15 to 18 a year home run a year guy. And maybe he could turn into that one day, but less than 10 home runs in this era of baseball, I am deeply surprised by that. But what you have on the field is a Gold Glove second baseman, a 300 hitter, a guy that steals 20, 30 bases. So no, I don't think there's a single Cubs fan on the planet that has an issue with Horner's performance. So occasionally, yeah, you might have a guy at second. You might have the occasional bloop single by Ian Happ, or maybe Seiya Suzuki comes through once in a blue moon with an RBI double or something. But no, man, it's too easy for fans to write the cards because when it comes to actual managers, and this is what I hate. Like whenever commenters get into discussions and they're like, yeah, this would be my lineup, or this would be my starting 3, my starting 5, whatever. In the postseason, you really want to use 3 pitchers, 3 starters, mostly. But you always have these arrogant fans who kind of retort, that's why, they're getting paid millions of dollars and you're sitting at your couch or sitting in your den or, some excuse like that. Like the average fan can probably make up a better lineup and know when to pull a guy. Problem is, when you're a manager, you're in the clubhouse with these guys, you're trying to like cater to their feelings, I guess. Nobody wants to be pulled out of a game after giving up a run. They want to get the next batter out. Relief core. Guy pitches 6 1/3 scoreless innings, gives up a single. You pull him out. Like, really? Do you need to pull him out after that type of performance? So, your love seat or couch potatoes can definitely do a better job than Craig. Oh God, Craig Counsell. I've been wanting to go on about this guy for as long as I've been having these live streams going on. $8 million a year, $40 million for 5. The highest paid manager in history. We thought he was going to come over to the Cubs and we were going to immediately be a 90-win team. We get 83 wins. Yeah, we followed it up with what are we at? Like 91 wins right now, but that's because you dominated the first couple months. But the last several months, I mean, they've been a 500 or below team, so that's why I don't have any high hopes. What, they're beating up the Cardinals, a team that's out of the running? Like, who cares, right? I thought that blinking was on my end. Nah, man. Shoot. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. A couple hours later, I did go ahead and repost that video. I had to delete the video, repost it again, which I actually deleted the video, so I had to go back into my phone and archive, deleted folder, pull that out. But that's why I like to go back and watch the videos that when they premiere, because if there's issues like that, I can go ahead and correct them immediately. I'm sure most of the people that tuned in probably saw that blinking after about like 5 seconds, like, oh, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing this. Are you getting the Piper's Pit play set? I saw that. I think that's coming from what? Mattel Creations with Orndorff and Orton with Piper. Not really the type of thing I collect, so I'm going to say no. And I guess if the price was a little bit better, if it was like $30 or something, shoot, maybe. But they're going for like, what was it, $70, $80, something like that? I'm like, I just don't have interest in that. Now, if I find out that later on this stuff's going to be worth massive money, yeah, I'm going to be disappointed. But right now, not the type of figures that I buy or a particular type of line, ish. All right. I think Nico is second in the NL in batting. Yeah. He, I don't know if he had an 0 for today, but I think he's probably down from like 299 to like 297 or something. It sucks that Trey Turner is the batting is going to win the batting title. And he's probably missed like the last month or so of the season. So that's really disappointing, right? You're trying to catch a guy that basically will not see his average dip at all. But because he's got enough at bats during the season, he qualifies for the batting title. So, along with 3 of the LGNs, missed out both times on Hogan so far, though. Hey, contact me, man. I think I may have double ordered that. Maybe. I know I ordered 2 the first time, but like I kind of have a feeling because you don't see the money populate on your bank account until Mattel actually ships the item out. But kind of like the same thing that happened with that bloody big rubber guy Ric Flair figure. I ordered 2 of them. My loose collection, my carded collection, and I ended up getting like 4 of them in the mail. I didn't realize when I bought them that they were like $300 or something, whatever it was. So when I reviewed the figure, I let people know, hey, I got extra figures on hand if you want them. And I kind of feel like the same thing happened with my Target orders, because at some point there was like an error that popped up. I hit the back button, put 2 figures back in for all of them, went back, hit pay, but I don't really pay attention to the price, right? You think, okay, this is $25. Let's say that's $25. All right, $50. Taxes, maybe you're at like $60. Shipping, $60. So you're not really thinking about it. Anyways, if I do end up with extras, I'll tell you. I'll probably tell you guys on the Facebook or not Facebook, YouTube community notes, but I'll mention it here as well. So if I end up with like 4 of them, yeah, that wouldn't be bad actually. I kind of have a feeling that these Mattel superstars are going to be like, especially in terms of Hogan. I think that one is going to be like crazy money in the next few years. And I'm not talking 20 years, 30 years down the road either. Look at Big Rubber Guys Series 2 Demolition. You buy them from the site, they're $50. But, months later, like literally just months, those things skyrocketed to like $200 a piece. So I kind of feel like the Hogan is going to be very similar to the Big Rubber Guys Demolition figures. It's going to be very pricey in the near future. So don't get caught up in the eBay craze. Don't be paying no $150 for those. Reach out to me. Let me know what you need. And if I have extras, I can ship it out to you. All right. I'm not a Craig Counsell fan. I see the Brewers are still winning without him. Guess he wasn't the reason the Brewers were winning. It's like St. Louis. You don't need Tony La Russa managing the Cardinals. Once he left, Mike Matheny and all these other managers that popped through, they've had massive success. It's about the culture of the organization, and that's not the culture that the Cubs have. Now, maybe when Theo was here for a handful of years, winning was our culture. Even when we basically squandered a huge lead with like a month or two to play and basically lost the division, we still had a winning season, right? But we don't have that winning culture that someone like the Braves or the Cardinals or the Yankees have, right? Like, when was the last time you saw a Yankees losing season? So Craig Counsell, he was just the benefit of an organization that had a winning culture, that knew how to put in the right pieces. They didn't go overspend on any piece. And the one time they did, it cost them like what, $160 million for Yelich. But what, he was a freaking MVP his first season, so the man absolutely deserved it. He's been a mega superstar for years. So they fill in the right holes with the right players. They don't overpay, and they're always successful. Cubs, just leadership does not know what they're doing. I don't even live in Chicago. I don't have access to WGN or whatever they're airing on nowadays, Marquee Network. So like, I just saw a Cubs game on not Amazon Prime, HBO Max. They're facing the Mets, and I guess the game was being aired on like TBS. So that's the only reason I was able to watch that. So literally, I probably have access to maybe 2 or 3 Cubs games a year. And I see enough in watching those games. I see enough in watching Locked On Cubs. I see enough in all of the recap videos I watch every single day to know that this guy is making absolutely zero difference. The players are the ones that are winning it for him. He's not making the right pinch hit to win the game, or he's not bringing in the right reliever to shut down a bases loaded 2-out jam or something like that. So this brilliant mind that Craig Counsell was supposed to, I don't see it. Literally, any one of us could jump into that clubhouse and manage a better ball game. Logan Paul is still available on Target for purchase. Hey, Tony, what's going on, bud? Funny thing is, Logan Paul, I think, is going to become like, who is that very super rare figure that you would never suspect would be like worth a ton of money, but like bearded Kirchner. So everybody wanted the regular clean shaven soldier, right? And even the LJN the guys that work for LJN, that they're a part of the whole processing, design of the figures, the release, and all that. Even I forgot the guy's name, but even he said the bearded Kirchner was supposed to be like the least expensive or least valuable, that the one with just regular stubble was supposed to be the most rare. And when we get on eBay, we see clean shaven sell for like $10. Stubble might go for like 20, 25, and the bearded Kirchner goes for like $3 or $4, maybe even $500 if it's in great shape. And we're talking loose figures. So I kind of feel like this guy, Logan Paul, is going to basically end up the same way. Nobody's going to want him. There's going to be very few figures in the world of him because of so. And I think he's going to end up being like the most coveted, most valuable piece in the future. Did I buy 2 of those? Like I obviously I want to open up a package, right? Have those. There's just no damn space anymore. Like I'm gonna have to start putting shelves up in my walls in my bedrooms, which I know my wife is gonna kill me if I put holes in the wall. So I know that's not really plausible, but with my LJN shelf taken up, my custom wall is just completely filled in that area, right? I mean, how do I display all my Latoonies and all my Mattel wrestling superstars and all my big rubber guy figures? They all need their own specific shelf, especially as the lines expand. I still feel bad pre-ordering Paul's LJN because he has to go away. I like LJN stuff. Oh god. So Logan Paul, isn't freaking Logan Paul like worth $1 billion? Isn't he like right up there with like Mr. Beast? I mean, not just from like exaggerating money either, like because obviously his YouTube channel is like what's exploded, tens of millions of views. He has obviously endorsements and stuff like that as well. So that guy's got to be worth like $1 billion or close to it. I know Mr. Beast. I mean, he's definitely worth probably $1 billion or more. And Logan Paul. If it wasn't a Logan Paul figure, you could just say, "Hey, this is just some generic guy. This is RJ Miter." I just made up a name. I don't know. And people are looking like, "Who the hell's RJ Miter?" But you're gonna get the figure, and it's like, it's a good looking figure, great pose, everything. So like, I like the Logan Paul figure. I just don't like the character, man. I don't think many of us really care about the character. But let me get through some of these comments. Will, the fig guy. I hope that's me because that's awesome. Did you pre-order Nasty Boys and Ellering? Pre-order ends on the September 30th. That I did. I don't remember if I ordered 2 sets or 1 set. I'm thinking I only ordered 1 set. So in order to conserve money, I might have to just buy 1 set and just kind of omit, having a second piece to open up and just simply go back to being an MOC collector. Now, I loved having that second set for my reviews. And really, that's what it all boils down to. I buy the second set because when I do a review on the figure, I want to be able to talk about everything. And being a mint on card, that's my primary objective as a collector. I want my MOCs. So the having a loose figure would be secondary, but I want all these figures loose. Good thing with Mattel at $25. I mean, it's not like you're paying $40, $50, $60 sometimes when companies like Grapples and Gimmicks keeps raising their prices. One of the guys I'm friends with on Facebook, John, he is like the huge. I mean, I'm a big Grapples and Gimmicks fan, but like I will call them out when their figures are crap, when their accessories are crap, whatever. They don't have many, but they do have some that are bad figures. And this man is just like an obsessive Grapples and Gimmicks fan. Like they can do no wrong. I just saw a message from him on Facebook recently. Not to me. It was just in regards to a post. Like even he's getting tired and can't defend the increase in prices. I mean, if these are not customs that somebody is taking the time out to put parts together, repaint them, create custom packaging. This is a store. This is a legitimate store, legitimate business with a legitimate factory. And one figure carded probably cost them about $1 to buy that in China. And when you're charging $60, $70 for one, I get it. The diesel figures were going to a specific cause. That's fine. But raising your prices either way, I think was insane. $40. I mean, I can't do it with all these companies, Epic Toys and Wrestle Something Wrestlers, and Grapples and Gimmicks. I mean, are any of us really going to be able to continue at $40 a pop when they're coming out with so many? Mattel Retros, I could deal with that because $15 a figure, that's fine. That's acceptable. Kayfabe Heroes, they came out with a new couple set of figures, right? $15 pieces. Awesome. That is exactly what they should be selling for. And Kayfabe Heroes, like I said, I count Kayfabe as not. I don't classify them as Hasbro style anymore. I call them as Hasbro-esque. They're very similar, but they have a much heavier weight to them, bigger, wider bodies, and I think the overall feel of the figures, it's just a more valuable piece. So, but at some point, I'm going to have to stop, or I'm going to have to go back into the workforce. And damn it, I like being retired. But I'm not really retired, man. Like I say that, but I'm not. Like I have a resale business, and I'm constantly, going through messages and sending out offers and reaching back out to people, networking, see if they're still interested in items. So, I mean, I make enough money that I can, like, obviously my retirement is covering my bills, but the reselling really helps with the collection and building more inventory and whatnot. So, so back to that Nasty Boys. I really wanted a second set, but I think I'm gonna have to limit myself to 2. Strawberry daiquiri. Not this time. My wife, she makes these drinks where it's like red here, and she adds another blue drink that she kind of layers over the top. So the top of the drink is blue, bottom is still the red. I tried layering them, and it just mixes in together. I'm like, well, I messed that up. Now, how she's able to actually have the drink sit on top of the other drink, I think that's pretty freaking awesome. But I think the drink is called Hypnotic. There's a Hypnotic in red and a Hypnotic in blue. So I woke up this morning, and I've been sick all day, and I'm like, do I feel like drinking tonight? If I do drink, it's got to be something easy. So the Hypnotic, it tastes good, and it should still do the trick as far as getting you drunk. So, of course, I'm pretty much done with it right now. So, as a backup, I'm going to finish off this Malibu watermelon. Caribbean rum with watermelon liquor. So I'm going to start that one afterwards. If we go like 3-4 hours, yeah, I'll dig into that one. But we're out after like an hour or two. So in the description, as well as the title, there are a lot of updates regarding different businesses. Obviously, Mattel, we've discussed a little bit. Latoonie has updates. Updates regarding Ram Treasures. Updates regarding my own Maniac Right Wrestling line. And the news I heard from one of my collaborators, I guess, I'm not liking what I'm hearing. So now the first initial release I was planning is probably going to be pushed back to another character. So, but we'll talk about that a little bit more as the show continues. What else is coming up? Updates. So, Latoonie. I think the last thing I updated with Latoonie was that their Mega Powers Yellow Trunks Macho Man was going to be released. Now I thought it was the Hasbro figure that was coming, but I might be wrong. It might be the actual LJN sized yellow figure that's on its way. But that one should be up soon. And oh, my Inoki. I just got notification today. Inoki has shipped, and I should have that in hand. Hopefully in the next. Well, it's come from California, so probably by Thursday or Friday. Now, I don't know if that's just the single piece that he was telling me about that he was going to send me, or if it's the carded figure as well. If the carded isn't included, then I won't do a review. I'll just wait till it's complete. What do you think of the Major Stars line from Major? Funko size figures with articulation released 4 so far. Macho Denhausen and of course Myers and Cardona. I've seen them. Don't have any interest whatsoever. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of wrestling fans will buy a lot of that stuff, and hell, even if they don't even like it, they're going to buy it just because they're fans of the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. But for me, in something like that, I have absolutely zero interest. Now, does that necessarily mean that I myself wouldn't create a line based on Funkos? You know, if the prices are right, you know, like if it costs 25,000 to get 500 units of this LJN figure made, fine. Whereas, let's say to make 500 figures of this Funko, and it's only going to cost you $5,000. From that perspective, yeah, you really might not have a choice in the matter into which action figure line you go into. Now, obviously, as far as creating my own line, LJNs are the ones I want. I really don't have any interest in creating anything else. But if I did have to move on to a secondary line, it would be Hasbro, right? But there are just so many Hasbro style figures, and there are new companies popping up every week, it seems. I think in last week I probably seen 2 or 3 different lines already added. And more figures to buy? I'm like, not. I can't do it. I gotta limit myself to what I know and what I trust. I keep saying that, hey, Zombie Sailors is gone. I don't have to worry about that anymore. But they came out with this. I don't know his name. I know the gimmick. He looks like an Amish. He looks like he's Amish or something. So I know the character. I just, like I said, I just can't remember the name. I'm like, that looks like a pretty good figure. I'm actually impressed with that one. But Zombie Sailors has let us all down so many times. And I'm not even talking about turnaround time. I'm talking about the quality of the actual product. So I'm like, it looks good on card, but what happens when you take it off card, right? All right. Nobody will want him. Who's that? The Cardona or... Yeah, this is why I should really pay attention to the notes and not just go off on these tangents because I'm losing. All right. Companies will discard him 20, 50 years later. Logan Paul, gotcha. He'd be like $2,000 for an open beat up one. God, I hope so. Oh, man. Every time I buy a carded figure, I've said it 100 million times, man. These are for me, for my enjoyment. I am collecting so late in life, or started collecting so late in life, that, unlike this guy who might have started collecting at 17 and maybe he's 45 now and really doesn't care about this stuff anymore. Like, this stuff is still brand new to me. So 20 years from now, 30 years from now, even, I could be on my deathbed and still have, this collection, surrounding me. So I'm okay with that. Like I said, if anything happens to me beforehand, like I drop dead of a heart attack, 3 years from now, all my wife has to do is put that stuff on eBay. She's got a nice little fortune to rest, to sit back on. So, I mean, I always have to look at this stuff as an investment, right? Otherwise, if I didn't think of it as being worthy of financial stability or being worth, money in the bank to me, I would open up everything. Because a carded, even a carded black card of, damn, I forget his name, Rick Rude. Damn, not even that drunk yet, but a carded Rick Rude is over $1,000, right? Depending on the condition of the card, 1,500, 2,000. I mean, you could buy a loose one for like $200. So you see the significance in price differentiation, right? So that's why when I buy these major bendies figures and when I buy Latoonie, why I try to get a couple of them, because it'd be nice to sit back and say, hey, I got this carded one that's gonna hold its value over the years. And I just like looking at the card. I like flipping it over. I like being able to see who's coming on the back, whatever information, bio card, what have you. I'm gonna drink that watermelon periodically. I remember Terry Funk LGN on clearance at the local pharmacy store for $3. Ah, that hurts. To see any LGN for like I just don't understand it. And I don't want to hear about inflation, because even if you were talking like 1920s to talk about a $3, that just seems crazy to me for something that size. Nowadays, like when I was buying Terry Funk, he was going for like $500, $600 on a consistent basis. Last year and a half or so, that darn thing sells on auction. You get like $200, $250 if it's a good price, if it's a good condition card. There are times where I could have literally, if I was bidding on it, I could have won a Terry Funk figure, MOC for like under $200. But knowing what I paid into mine, I'm like, frustrating. See, there's only so much money you can pay into that stuff, because if that's what the value is, it's like, what are you gonna do with the secondary copy? Relist it, okay. You bought it for $200, but if that's what the going rate is nowadays, I mean, what do you really think you're gonna sell it for? People aren't paying $500 for a Terry Funk carded figure anymore. So, all right. Oh damn. Where did I go? I always hit this button on the bottom, and it always takes me all the way to the bottom, and I'm not able to. Okay, here it is. That'd be quite a deal. So is that for like the? So which deal was that? I don't know when that question was asked, so I'm gonna assume it's about the LJNs compared to the Funkos. I'll use the Paul LJN as enhancement talent in my LJN wrestling league. That's exactly what everybody's probably gonna end up doing. Terry Funk had the green chaps, had a hat too. Yep, and the branding iron. That darn branding iron, man. Like, I feel like that little cheap piece of plastic, costs more than the hat. I mean, it's darn cool, but branding iron original like $60, $70. So what I say, you're paying like $100 just for the accessories alone, and we're talking loose. I mean, I don't know what they're going for today, probably $20 or something, but you could get really good customs made for around $20. I mean, they're fine. You don't need the original. I'm glad I'm not an MOC collector. I mean, mostly it's because there's not just the price, but the lack of space to try and display everything. Otherwise, everything's gonna be sitting on the shelf, like this, like a book. You got to pull it off the shelf, look at it, and I don't like it. I want it to be face forward. We could actually see the front of the card, But so many of my collections, that's exactly what it is. It's like pulling it off a shelf, pulling a book off the shelf. I could buy one of each and open them. I throw away the bubbles, keep most of the cards since they don't take up much room. Yeah, see, that's why every single time I open up a card, Grapples and Gimmicks, Zombie Sailors, Kayfabe Heroes, basically any of your retro lines, any of your LJN style figures from Big Rubber Guys, or I keep their packaging. I keep all the Latoonie packaging, right? So I feel like the cards can always be found later and probably for a good price, but the bubble. What about people that might want to take those LGNs, for example, right? And you can customize an LGN, throw it in the bubble, put it back on the LGN card, seal it up, and kind of display that as, hey, this is a mint on card custom figure. So that's why I try to save all the cards and bubbles. Like maybe a month or two ago on Mercari, a buyer bought a ton of like zombie sailors and grapplers and gimmicks cards. I mean, it didn't cost a fortune. I mean, I think all in, I probably sent him probably 20, 25, maybe more than that, cards and bubbles. And I think he only paid between the two orders maybe $50. So I mean, we're not talking a lot of money, right? But ever since I got into collecting, I saw what the cost of individual LGN cards sell for. I see what the cost of individual Hasbro cards sell for. So that's why I'm like, that's why it's like difficult for me to like throw any of those cards away now. But there's so damn many that, yeah, I could box them up, put a little label on the outside, tell me what's on the inside of that box, and store it away. But eventually, just space is going to run out, right? So I was pretty happy to take take a small fee now, and not have to wait 20, 30 years to see if if they are worth any kind of money. So, all right, WCW hard rubber figures were the worst. After Hasbro, I didn't even pay attention to any wrestling figures. In '93, I became an obsessive Power Rangers fan, so any toy collecting was always centered around Power Rangers. Or later on, maybe you get like a couple Big Bad Beetleborgs or Masked Rider, VR Troopers or something. But I mean, did I ever play with those? No. They were bought because I watched the show and I was a fan of the show, and I wanted the toys to go with it. But I never played with that stuff. So when it came to wrestling figures, like when you saw Series 5 onward of Hasbro, I didn't know anything about that stuff. Later on with the original San Francisco toy makers and so on, like all of this stuff over the last few years, like I said, this is all brand spanking new to me because I didn't know about no Jack's Classic Superstars or anything like that. I wasn't, of course, in the 2000s, man. I had already late 90s actually. I had already stopped watching wrestling, so I mean, I wouldn't have been following the toys, let alone the actual sporting events. But I think it wasn't LGN, it wasn't Hasbro, but I think it was the original San Francisco toy line that really got me interested in the actual carding and design of the cards because of the toy makers. They had that really thick cardboard, like the graphics on the back, like the graphics on the front. The figures, they're LJN-esque, similar poses, right? Bigger, or you could count them as bigger Galoop figures. Not quite as tall, but they still blend in with the LGN line. So, I mean, there are a ton of lines. I could probably sit back and say, I like these figures better than what original San Francisco produced. But right now, I probably still classify original San Francisco as my number 3 favorite line. So, a newer company has basically shot to the top of my list. But then again, I never had LJNs as a kid, right? And I consider them second to Hasbro. And we're not talking like 70-30. We're talking like 51-49. Like literally it's that darn close. I think the nostalgia aspect, knowing that I grew up with Hasbro's, I mean, that's what did it for me in the end. But they're all fun lines, I think, especially from a collecting standpoint, because they're all like pieces of art for me. All right. But also my favorite at the time. I mean, they're great pieces. You got a lot of great figures that have a lot of great poses. Harlem Heat is incredible. I love their poses. I mean, they're just, Greg Valentine or the other one, which is a mixed Valentine. Jerry Sags, I think, was the other one that had the arm punching motion. Plus, he was a big, heavier figure, so wider body and everything. The arm punching, awesome pieces. I mean, Sting with like the arms out like this. I mean, it kind of reminds you of like Ric Flair Galoob, kind of ish. So it was serviceable. The Ric Flair figures were serviceable. Even Hulk Hogan with the hands up, which I don't like. I mean, it's still serviceable figures, you know. But Macho Man. Everybody wants to hate on the LJN Rick Rude, but Macho Man is basically the identical figure. Hands on the hips, all close. Like, what is that? Molded to the hips? No, I think the Macho Man from original San Francisco, doesn't matter if you're going off the black and white or if you're going off the multicolored version. I think that might be the worst action figure ever created. You know, yes, Rick Rude has to be up there because he's an unplayable figure, but I think Jimmy Snook LJN is worse. You know, just my preference or, you know, my take on that. And I don't know who else. Ron Simmons Galoob, obviously. So you're going to have your great pieces, but there's always going to be, you know, some terrible piece that's mixed in. I mean, Galoob and original San Francisco, they are basically one and the same. Yep. Later became OSF FTM. Yep. I almost didn't want to pay $65 for the latest set of Mattel Retros, let alone $40, $50. Well, you got to think of it this way, though. With Mattel Retros, you're paying $60, but you're getting 4 figures. When you go to like someone like Grapplers and Gimmicks, and they're charging you like $70 for one Diesel figure, I mean that's absolute lunacy. Like how does he make an argument for that? Recently, he's coming out with a 3. Oh, that's another thing. Henry Godwin, well, both Godwins, and I think Hillbilly Jim is the third one. He's coming out with a 3-pack, retro 3-pack of the Godwins and Hillbilly. So for a 3-pack, that one I would probably pay $30 to $35, maybe let's say $12 a figure. Let's say $30 to $36. Or we could call them $15 a figure and say max of $45. That to me would be valuable. That would be where it should be in for a 3-piece. Yeah, it's only one package, but like I said, you gotta look at it more as the amount of action figures you're getting in the line. So I'm pretty sure when that comes up for order, it's gonna sell for like $150 to $175. And he's gonna sell so little that the ones that actually do sell, they're gonna be worth so much freaking money. Because then later on, people are going to want those figures, and what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to go through eBay, and you're not selling a $150 item for under $225 because that reseller is going to want to earn some profit, right? So $225, they might get like $180 to $200, and even that might not be enough. The easy thing is, well, just stop buying from this particular seller. But unless everybody shuts down and stops buying from a respected seller, it's not going to change. They really got to get their prices in the $15 to $20 because they're not really that valuable, man. You make them hard as a rock when you bang on them, right? So you got your figure. You hear that? I got it. It's a solid piece. When you pound on a Hasbro or Mattel Retro, yeah, you feel that hollowness because they're made, I don't want to say more cheaply. I mean, they're going to stand a lot of abuse, but getting these hardened resin type figures, I mean, this is no, I don't like that. Let's see what we got here. You got to trade, live off the retirement, and do side jobs. Side job money is play money. That's pretty much why I kind of started doing the reselling, because I mean, I'm not like making thousands of dollars or anything crazy. Like if I made $500 in a month, that would be huge. Now, over the last few weeks, let's call it month or so, I've been starting to do sell my duplicate because I got a million Hasbros, right? A million Hasbros for sale. So for like the last few weeks, last month, I started putting them on eBay for 99-cent auctions. And surprisingly, I've made a ton of sales. I argue this all the time, guys. You could take a figure like Nails, a Series 7 Hasbro of Nails. That to me is a good $40 figure every time. You could take a lighter, burn off his face, break off the arms. That is still a $40 figure, man. So I could put Nails up on eBay with a starting bid of $40 or best offer. I put best offer thinking, okay, 2 minutes after I list it, someone's going to see that. Best offer, $40, minimum requirement. And I can sell it right then and there. Like I don't have to wait 7 days to see if it might sell or might sell for a price I want. I'll take the price I'm comfortable with. It will not sell worth not one iota. But you put that Series 7 Nails figure up for auction at 99 cents, let's say $5 shipping, whatever. That damn thing's going to sell for close to $60. I think the last one I sold, because I had multiple nails. I think I had 3 nails. I sold all of them now. And the last one I sold just went for like $57. So, Nasty Boys tag team set, Legion of Doom tag team set. You could break all the spikes off the darn Legion of Doom. They will still be $40 figures, bare minimum. Nasty Boys, same thing. Listed for $9, but nobody wants to buy it when you do a starting bid of $40. Put them on 99-cent auction. Bam! This sold for $57. This sold for $63 or whatever prices, right? So I'm happy to get more money, but you're also waiting longer for the item to sell because you got to wait out the week. So that's kind of annoying. I like the guy that bought my Undertaker today. So nobody had bid on my Series 4 Undertaker. I had it up for a buy it now for $20, which, I mean, that's a $20, $25 figure. So, I mean, thank God they just did a buy it now and it didn't sit there and try to mess with the whole bids because in the end, it probably would have cost them more. So I like those. I don't get a lot of those, but I always try to do buy it now based on, fair market value, right? Like I'm not going to do a Series 4 Undertaker, put him up for like $40 because it's not a $40 figure. Even mint, it's like a $25 piece. I mean, if he's like mint, like right out of package mint, maybe you could argue $30, but I see a lot of eBay sellers and they list these figures for like $60, $80. We're talking basic pieces. And yes, Undertaker Series 4 is a basic piece. Or I did get a good offer on my Hasbro bundle with all the accessories. Now, not all the accessories are original, of course, so that might have impacted the offer. I mean, I have it up for a high price, $1,500, and it's only 23 figures, but it's all 23 figures that came with accessories in the line. And when you look at the figures included, okay, here's a purple Series 10 Razor Ramon. I mean, that alone is like a $125 figure by itself. You throw in the accessory, okay, even I think it's a custom. So even with the custom accessory, it's like brings up to like $150. So you're at about $150 for one single figure. You got 22 more to go. So what do you think about it? With all the accessories, with all these rare pieces, the Series 8, Undertaker, etc., right? Yeah, that stuff you can see why I listed $1,500 because $1,500 is a fair price. But best offer, right? Someone comes in with an offer for $1,200, $1,300, yeah, I'll jump on it. After selling fees, I might get like $900, $960. I think on a $1,300 offer, I'd probably get like $960 or something. But he came in with an $800 offer. I mean, just over half price. Not anything that you'd be mad about. I mean, I still feel like the $800 was reasonable, but no, it wasn't something I was going to accept. Too many. I paid a whole lot more into it, and I put this bundle together because I wanted, buyers and collectors the opportunity to basically get all of the accessories with figures all at one time instead of having to shop around. So I did create this bundle once before, and it sold to a seller overseas. I think I got like $1,200 for it, 1,100, 900, something like that. So as I started building this collection again, duplicates, I started putting all the accessories back together. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up now because I haven't read these comments in like 10 minutes. um, you got to trade. So that's what you're asking. No. In all honesty, Will, I have absolutely zero talent. I can't even paint a freaking wall. I mean, I probably could if I tried, but I know I would screw it up. Like I tried painting a King Kong Bundy black, and I ended up screwing up that figure. So it just shows you how much talent I lack. Oh man, you said hypnotic blue is the worst. That stuff is delicious. Like I could sit there and drink. Worst hangovers. Gotcha. Haven't had since high school. Actually, no, man. Like the hypnotic, like I don't think I ever get sick from that stuff because I don't know how much alcohol's in those bottles, but it doesn't feel like it's not like the hard whiskey, man, or the tequila. Like really has been messing me up. Oh, I didn't take these figures down from Wednesday's live stream, so I'm still staring at them. All you guys that tuned in to Wednesday's live show, man, I haven't done it at the beginning. I should did it, but here it is now. I just want to thank everybody, man. That was such a fun live show. Being joined by BBA, I mean, that was incredible. Getting the opportunity to talk about these figures that have come in. I think that's absolutely amazing. And oddly enough, when I looked at that like the next day, that damn thing was at like 450 or so views. Now, 450 views on a live stream is insane. I think some of my best live streams only got like 100 something, 200 views. So to have that overnight, 400 plus, almost 500 views, I thought, damn. So you guys, you really made that video or that live stream a success. And I just want to thank you all for that. All right. Let's see what we got here. Flavored liquor hurts. Maybe. I like but shoot, yeah, because it tastes better and you're shooting them down a whole lot faster because you can handle it a whole lot more. So I can see getting drunker faster because you're drinking more of it, consuming more at once or faster in a short period of time. But for me, so far, it looks like the tequila and the whiskey is really what was it? Mashed something that I had last couple weeks. Oh man, that thing, hour 45 minutes in, and it's got me passed out already. I'm like, damn. How do I go from talking like this to just being passed out like somebody shot me with a dart? I think you to pour slowly to keep the liquor separated like that. I think I remember the tip is to pour over the back of a spoon. Yeah, that's exactly what my wife does when she made the drink for me. I'm tempted to text her and be like, "Hey, can you make me another drink?" I mean, these teeny glasses, they're so freaking small, so like you don't really get a lot of drink in them. Me, I just get a bottle, just pour them in together, just leave it at that, man. Just call it a day. Alays was the cheap original hypnotic. I don't think I've ever tried that. All right. Latoonie update. Is it the new Andre signing figure? No, that one should be up already, isn't it? As a matter of fact, when I just bought 3 new figures from Latoonie today, and I limited myself to just one piece. So I don't even know if I bought these already. And this is how bad it is because my memory sucks. But The Macho Man Gold, I bought that one. I bought the Macho Man Halloween Havoc, where he's in like Georgia the Jungle outfit, right? I bought that one, and there was a third one. It wasn't Andre. Damn, what the hell else did they have up there? It wasn't the Andre signing, so what the heck else was there? I think it was three. I think it was three Macho Mans, but I don't remember what the third one was. In fact, I could probably look it up real quick if I still have it on here. No. So Halloween Havoc, the gold version, and the Macho King with the accessories. So I did buy 3 Macho Man figures. Now, if those all come in at the same time, it's gonna be a Macho Man heavy review video. I kind of feel bad for Ahmad though. Now I realized once he explained to me that he's got a contract and he's got to fill X amount of figures in order to complete that contract. I now understand why he's creating so many Macho Mans. But like anytime he has like an Instagram post or something like that, or puts it on Facebook or whatnot, there's always somebody out there that's gonna like criticize. Oh, look, just what we need, another Macho Man or something to that effect. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to see 10 million Macho Man figures either, but I like the figures that we're getting from him. And now that I understand why he's putting out so many of the same character, it kind of helps alleviate some of that frustration. But I would definitely like to see different characters, of course, no doubt. And Latoonie, but what else is so I didn't see the Andre signing figure, and that's probably the one I went onto the website to purchase. So, and that should have been up the 22nd, I thought, or earlier in the month, or was that August 22nd went up? Which means, damn, it's been a month already. Because I kind of have the number 22 in my mind. So, hey, what's going on, Irish? I see you, buddy. All right. Yeah, man. Inoki, he should be coming this week. So I don't know if everybody's getting theirs, but I know that he told me that the Inoki figure he wanted to send me was like a factory prototype. So that saves me from having to discard the other package, which I always save though. But like I said, when I take the figures off the card, I keep the poster out as well. So getting the factory Inoki, nice, but at the same time, where's the poster, right? So when I talk to Ahmad, I'm like, yeah, that's what I need. I need to have that poster to accompany it. I will do a review on it. I mean, I'll just show the card when the time comes. We'll just have 2 reviews basically, or the second one will just be where I'm not even on camera. Well, I'm just showing the card, and that's pretty much it. I might even make a short video. Roadkill. Hey, Corey. Roadkill. Some company I think is creating another Roadkill figure. Now, obviously, Rush Collectibles has their variants. I think 2 or 3 variants, most likely 3. But there is another retro line out there. I don't know if it's like Mikey Cheese or someone, but one of these new companies, they're kind of creating a Roadkill Hasbro-esque figure, Hasbro style figure. So we might get another one. And I haven't spoken to Sal in like forever, but I don't think about it until I really make these videos with you guys. That Pro Wrestling NES video game with the 3 figures on the package, I was kind of expecting that to arrive at the end of the year by December, but at this point, there's been no update, so I don't even know if that's going to happen. So I need to reach out to him to see if there's some kind of updates to what's going on with that. Now, if he tells me there's massive delays, it might be another year and a half before we see anything. Might have to request a refund at that time, but if he's like, it's a little bit of delay, we're probably going to have to wait till June. I think they're gonna be cool enough figures to the point where I might wait because shoot, Zombie Sailors they've had me waiting for a year and a half, we 14 months, 15 months or something. Not quite a year and a half, but for that stupid 1776 Sandman, which was trash. I sold that on eBay. The third one I had. You would think that Zombie Sailors they covet themselves so much as this awesome company. And Matt Cardona, I like him. I like his podcast, everything. But at the same time, I just don't understand his infatuation with Zombie Sailors. Now, if they're in business together and he's just hyping them up because the more sales for them means more money in his pocket or something, I can understand that. But when he's talking about like Zombie Sailors being on another level from the rest of these retro figure lines, I'm like, dude, no. Um, that right there, he lost a lot of credibility points with me on that one. Zombie Sailors has got to be the worst. I mean, there's a reason why I don't have their carded figures hanging up in my room in my display room anymore. Why I put them in the garage. I just don't value them. And I replace them with Mattel Retros, which aren't even expensive figures, or which I don't really think are really that valuable. Older Mattel Retros, those are worth something. The Mattel Creations releases, since they went to Mattel Creations, it those really aren't that valuable. A 4-pack probably send you anywhere between $30 to $60. So it's as if you're buying it from the store directly. So for reseller, that makes no sense, right? But I have a lot of duplicates, but I'd be willing to sell. But I don't want to sell them for no $15, man. After eBay fees, you're looking at like 10. You're looking about 11, $12. So, right. Roadkill. What is your eBay name? I want to see what you have, brother. Hey, JB. So I got two eBays. First one is Matt Watt 6, MATWAT 6. And the other is Waddy's channel. So it'll actually say Waddy's channel for the second one. And you'll always be able to see which one is mine because the pictures, like if it's closed, it'll be like a green wall. Or if it's action figures, I'll always have it on this this sword box that I use as a background. So it's like a gray and black sword box. So yeah, always really easy to tell, my sellables from other sellers. Steven, what's going on, buddy? Why do I always shoot past everybody? All right. Hey, man, I love my Andre Blackstrap from Random. She got it to me really quick. Awesome, bud. That is really great to hear, man. So the rubber for that Andre, was it like really pale or did it actually fit the flesh tone of the original? Because I didn't get a black strap from her. I got a Series 2 blue. And the rubber, like I said, it's completely different than any of the rubber that she's been using nowadays or last year or so. Very pale, very flexible, but I don't want to say cheap rubber. But like I said, you bend it back and forth, it's going to break. But hopefully, the new rubber will actually be serviceable. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Irish, every time, man. All right. I started collecting LGN bio cards too. Dude, don't get me started on those. I have, I think, 2 cards among my collection. I have a Boss Man and damn, I don't remember what the hell the other one was. I have 2 cards. Let's leave it at that. And my darn OCD, man. If I have one of something, I gotta have everything of it. So, but even bio cards, if you were to have like somebody just throw out some random bio cards, easy stuff. Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, Hillbilly Jim, etc. And let's say there's 10 of them to a bundle. Even that will probably go for like $100 And I'm like, I'm not paying $100 for these. They could be the full on card. I wouldn't pay $100 for 10 of those. Oh man. But I really want those bio cards because I want to sit them right behind the actual LJN figure that I have displayed on my shelves, right? So I think those are pretty cool to add. Just way too up there. But Jason Lipp's collection of bios from him. Oh, damn, I didn't even know he was even selling anything. But yeah, Jason tells me today that he spoke to Net maybe a year and a half ago or so about creating a New Age Revolution figure, and she was contemplating making his figure for him. And so now I'm kind of getting the impression that Net is still going to make a Jason Up LJN figure for her Etsy shop. And I'm like, hold on a minute. Like if I have to go through like Realm Treasures, like I said, if I don't go through an actual factory, what's my next course of action? I think Random Treasures is an awesome stop to produce these figures. I would pay for the mold, and she could release the figures, and in return, basically, she should reimburse me for the mold, and she might offer like a few free figures. One for me, one for bone breaking action when she makes the BBA figure, etc. Right? So, and now he's kind of like telling me like the way he worded made it sound like they're in the possibility of creating their own Jason Up figure. He's like, oh, but it's okay. You could still release it from on your line. I'm like, cool, but I know probably there are some people that watch my channel that might buy a Jason Up figure from me, especially if it's everything that I've imagined, right? But most people, the people that I thought that would actually buy his figure are people who watch his channel, people who may not be subscribed to me or know about me. So, I mean, he has a huge audience in comparison. So I have like maybe 20% of the audience he does. So if we're going to sell 500 figures, most likely it's going to come from the people that watch his channel and support him. But the second he makes a Jason Up XRX Customs review video, hey guys, get on Etsy, buy this figure. All of his fans are going to get on there and start buying that stuff up. And who's going to need to buy one from me if they already got their own from Ram Treasures, right? So at this point, it doesn't make sense for me to create a Jason Up figure if it's already going to be produced. I want to be different. I don't want to produce the same figures everyone else is making. Everyone else is making Legion of Doom, Powers of Pain. Everyone else is making, Macho Man and Ric Flair and Ultimate Warrior, right? All of it. I don't want to come out with those characters because they're done to death. No demolition. It's done to death. So if there's a Jason Up figure out there, I don't want to be second fiddle, if that makes sense. But I'm also kind of going through Print Fury. So I had already paid Kevin Pelkey for a couple figures. One of them was the Devil figure, and the other was a BBA figure. With the cost associated with them, man, they're just so damn expensive. So instead of buying all four at one time, I'm like, you know what? Let me save my money a little bit. Let me buy two at a time now. I'll buy two later, because there have got to be some changes to these figures. Like I said, when I got these in, all of the figures that I bought, I paid for based on rubber prices, and rubber prices are like twice the cost of resin, but these are all resin, right? So, I mean, how do I go back to be like, hey, these are all, no, that's just the paint application making it hard. Well, that doesn't make no damn sense. So obviously I was very excited to get those in. I'm still excited. But there's some things I don't like about it. Like I said, the hardness of the figures. I don't like that the figures really don't stand on their own. So, I mean, that's a negative, obviously. And with the money that was paid into for packaging, Like I really wanted a real card back, a real bubble, not that cheap, flimsy 2 pieces of paper put together. And here's your back and front of the card. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna buy your 3D prints. I talked to Kevin because he does all of the prints, all of the designs for Ram Treasures, right? So he'd be the best person to go through. I'm like, hey, here's the figures. I need it to be redone, and these are some of the specs I require. So I don't want this like Nikolai Volkov, Corporal Kirchner type of punching. My upgraded figure is actually going to have the Hulk Hogan pose that I wanted. So, that's going to be an upgrade. And I've listened to your guys' comments as well. You guys said, let's put together some accessories. Cool. Talked to Kevin today. I'm like, look, my buyers or my viewers, potential buyers, I don't know, maybe. We'll see what happens. They said they'd like accessories to come with these figures. I'm like, how is that a possibility? So for the devil, I'm probably going to change out the arm. Instead of having a closed fist, he's going to be like Terry Funk, or where he's going to have like a little hole in his hand, right? And I'm going to have a cane, like a Freddie Blassie cane or something. But he did mention that, doing it in resin is one thing, but if I'm going to try to create rubber out of these, that having that drilled in hole into the rubber may not be possible. So the cane might only be for my resin prototype. When you actually get the actual rubber figure, the hand might be closed. But again, I wanted it to be upgraded because here it is. Because it's not quite the pose I wanted, right? Like, Greg Valentine has left arm up like so. And SD Jones also had his, dang it, guy in his left choke hands. So I can only use one. I decided I wanted SD Jones choke slam, and I wanted like Greg Valentine's arm right up here. Even with the new design Kevin came out with, it's more of a punching, like more of a Hulk Hogan with the right arm out here. Now, when you look at the 3D print, one has his elbow about yay high, where the other one, his elbow is actually, shoulder high, right? Anyways, I think the shoulder high would have worked better because it's more, Greg Valentine-esque, but I decided to go with the arm a little bit lower. And I still think the pose is going to be incredible. For bone breaking action, we could have had a weed cigarette. We could have had an ice cream cone, or maybe even add his pit bull as an accessory. But how do we add, let's say we put in an ice cream cone, right? How do we position the hands so that he can hold an ice cream cone? I was just thinking that they would just have the ice cream cone like right up in here or something. But he was asking me if, BBA wanted to like redesign the figure. But I think this is the one he wanted. This is what he was happy with. And like I said, I think this one was done spectacularly. So we're going to try and get the face to look more realistic, I guess. Because, it's a custom figure, right? And it looks like a custom figure. They're all really good customs. They're all excellent customs. They're just not quite what I'm looking for in terms of, mass release. I think a lot of people would buy these and be happy with them, but I'm trying to get as close to the actual LJN as possible. So right now, BBA and the Devil are the two that he's going to be working on for me. I don't know, maybe in a few weeks, maybe not even a few weeks, maybe a couple weeks, maybe when it turns to October, I will reach back out to him and pay for the other two. But I got to find out what's going on with the Jason Up. Is Ram Treasures creating his figure? And if they are they going to create it based on my design, my prototype, or are they going to base it off of another figure, right? Additionally, if Jason Up comes out with his own figure through Ram Treasures, it's their exclusive, not mine, and he uses the exact same design, then I kind of feel like, well, shit, now I'm screwed. Because now I paid for the specific design and someone else is using it. But so that's kind of like the Ram Treasures / Maniac Riot Wrestling update portion of this video. All right, let me scroll down here. Right now, my hair's so bad, my gout is acting up and it hurts. Hey, Irish, damn, dude. Sorry to hear that, bud. Yeah, man, I saw that they sold out that blue Macho Man too. I was actually mad. I'm happy for Ahmad, but I was also mad because I only have that one carded. I don't have a loose one. And if I was buying 3 other Macho Mans today, I might have actually added that blue Macho Man to the order. Ugh. So I don't know. I gotta see now if maybe it goes on eBay or something, but I'm not paying more than $50 for it. Now, if it's like $50 and like $10 shipping, or it goes for 55 with like $10 shipping or something, fine. But like if somebody lists it for like $100, which is funny that I said I won't buy a Latoonie figure for $100, but I plan on selling my own line for $100, and they're not even realistic. They're not even wrestlers. But they were not pre-orders. So again, I had to remind myself that's the main focal point. They're not pre-orders. So buyers aren't paying into the purchase of everything. And I think $100 for these figures is going to be worth it, man. It's going to be limited. It's not going to be something that's going to have like, 500 figures. So I think a lot of people that are collectors will probably enjoy this line. The toughest part is getting them out. All right. I like the feel of the Latoonie giant machos, so I'm going to eventually buy them. So far, got the pink, white, now or never, and blue Ultraman. Yeah, I still like when it comes to the blue one. I still look at him as I call that figure Cyclops. Yes, I understand he's supposed to be Mr. Freeze, but to me, it just looks like Cyclops with the whole blue and yellow outfit of man. Taking me back to like early 1990s Fox Kids X-Men animated series. So that's why I like that figure so much. I don't just look at him as a wrestling figure. I look at him as like an X-Men figure, even though technically he's a DC Batman character, right? Mr. Freeze. But yeah, damn, up for pre-order, and I missed that signing. Like when I was on the website, I didn't see it. So I might have to do some more research. Could I get a Macho King Hasbro? I seem to have lost mine in my collection. Or where could I get a Macho King? Man, hey Rebel, reach out to me later on, man. I'm pretty sure I've got an additional Macho King or 2 laying around, and I'll send you one. I don't think anyone is buying a Jason figure. Hey Corey, I don't know. Like even in his last video, I think last night. Did he film it last night or did I watch it last? God damn, I don't know. I keep going off. I keep spacing, so I'm not going to go there. But he was saying like, hey, talking to his viewers, would anybody buy a Jason Nupp action figure? At first, I thought, I'm like, okay, awesome. He's starting to advertise for us because I still consider him to be part of this business, right? So so I look at it as not advertising for him. I look at for him as advertising for us, for me, for Bone Breaking Action, for himself. Possibly Ram Treasures if that's who ends up making the figures for us, right? But it just sounded like he wanted his own Jason figure for himself, outside of the one that we came up with for the line. So yeah, now I kind of feel like instead of working, now we're kind of like not squaring off, but in competition with one another. With which, like I said, he basically said he gave me the go ahead. Like I could still release his figure for my line if I wanted to, but not if someone else has it out there. I don't mind going with the Ram Treasures. if Ram Treasures wants to create a Jason figure, like I think everyone knows what my expectations are. I understand that she's gonna do the hard stuff, which is the painting. So she's obviously got to earn the biggest profit on that. I just need to be made whole for the anything I paid into it. Like if I paid for the actual molds, right? And if I could get a couple figures in return, Jason he already gets a free figure from Net every time, so uh, that's technically one figure down that she doesn't have to issue out because she's going to issue one out anyways. So there's that, and I also want it to be to the point where I want it to be kind of specified, Waddy's channel exclusive, or I want it to say Maniac Rat Wrestling or something. I don't want it to be looked at as a Random Treasures exclusive, even though they're the ones who are building it, right? So we're the ones coming up with the designs and all that. I want people to know that, hey, this is my deal that I came out with, and I mean that's not selfish, right? You just kind of want to, and like I said, I'm not really planning multiple series. So if Ram Treasures comes out with these, awesome. But everything that I've been promising, such as the poster, the card back, the blister, that's not going to happen, and that hurts. But we could put up on Round Treasures. They could have it out in a couple months, or we could keep messing around with this factory, and we could wait another year or two because they're like, I don't know. I think the prints, the 3D prints, 3D files, Kevin told me it's going to be a lot cheaper. I think he was asking like $25 for his prints or something. Sin, he was asking for $250 for his 3D files. So that was another big issue. I'm like, these aren't going to be for anybody else other than us. For me, for BBA, for Jason Ups, I'm like, I think he just wants to make sure he gets paid for his work. But at the same time, I'm like, you do realize I'm going to pay you percentages of everything I sell. So like I wanted him to be part of the business. So, but at that point, if I'm paying for the prints, I would be the owner of it, right? So, but I don't know how to use that stuff. If I was a manufacturer or customized whatever, and I had those files on hand, sure, it would do me justice. But for me, what the hell can I do with it? Nothing. Outside of sending it to someone else who can make heads or tails of it, right? So that's where we're kind of at on that issue. But the videos only average about 500 views. That's not a lot of potential buyers. Yeah, that always kind of bothered me. Because that's like 10% of his total subscribers. And there's this guy I kind of laughed. I don't want to say laughed at, but I saw this video on YouTube, let's say earlier this year. Guy, I think he was a streamer or something, and he was complaining that he had 5,000 subscribers or nine. I think he had like 9,000 subscribers, and he was complaining that each video was only getting like 3,000 views. How do I have 9,000 subscribers and only 3,000 views? This doesn't make sense. It's like, dude, just because you have 9,000 people subscribe to you doesn't mean that 9,000 people are consistently watching you every single day. So, like me, if I say, hey, here's 1,000 subscribers on my channel, people that actually tune in and watch the videos every single day, what, 50 people, maybe 100 if I'm lucky. I mean, if that number is over 100, I'd be surprised. But I know my short videos are bringing an absolute tonnage of new subscribers. I mean, I've gone up almost 400 since I started implementing daily shorts, and I realize that these 1,300 or so, like I said, there's probably maybe 50 to 100 people that actually watch me on a daily basis. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I could sell 20 figures to someone who's really interested from my channel. New 80s Revolution, I thought he was the most marketable, and if he could sell, let's say, another 200, Maybe Bone Breaking Actions client fan base can get another 10 or 20 people. Let's say him and me each get 25, so that's 50. Let's say Jason has 250. That leaves me 250 figures that I have to try and sell off of Facebook, add on to these different LGN groups to see if there's any interest. I've actually been putting off pictures and asking the question, hey, any recommendations? Is anybody interested in this stuff? But nobody responds. Nobody leaves a comment. Like, even if somebody left a comment, nah, man, this is crap. Like, it would be something, it would tell me something. Or I can at least reach out to respond like, okay, hey, what do you not like about this? What do you recommend? Something. But there are no comments on those posts. And it's kind of frustrating because I want to hear the feedback. Today, guys, I kind of screwed myself over because, the little backings are two pieces of paper put together side by side. So I decided to sit there, kind of staple one side so I could actually slide it into the bubble because the damn thing doesn't stay. And because it always pops out, and because it's so big, it's not flat. It's like that, right? So the card back kind of protrudes outward because the card is too big for the bubble. I'm like, the best way to keep these damn bubbles on the card is to tape it down. So that's what I did. And I don't like it. I kind of messed it up already. The damn packing tape that I have is like 3 inches. It's like, that big. So I'm trying to sit there and cut down the middle so I could put it on each side. But then the tape gets all cut. I was so frustrated. And I was trying to knock that out just before I came up here for the live stream. I did like 2 cards. But it was a waste of money. I mean, that was like $25 or $30 per card and bubble. I mean, come on. The ink is probably what costs money, and that was like 2 cents. And then the bubbles, you probably get like 50 of those bubbles for like $25 on Amazon or something. So knowing that I spent an additional $25 per bubble and card per figure, like that was too much. I want Zash, man, or one of those guys who make real authentic LJN style cards, blue cards, got the pictures on the back. I want that stuff. But I don't know who these guys are or how to respond or how to reach out to them. So I like this figure a lot. I think Sin did an unbelievable job. I still say BBA was the best, but I'm just looking at these and they're just, if they were just rubber, man, I could live with the face and everything, the more cartoony look to the face. I just wish they were rubber. He even sent a photograph where BBA was like a green see-through rubber, right? And he's like, squeezing the legs, showing that they move, right? But look, nothing. This 100% resin. It's a statue. That's not rubber. So I'm really mad about that. But like I'll backtrack. I can't exactly go complain to my, hey man, this isn't rubber. What I paid for rubber. Are you gonna reimburse me for sending me resin? Then I'm gonna look like an asshole. And I feel like we have a good relationship, and I don't want to ruin that. But that's kind of like where I'm at. I'm kind of as a toss up. Which route to go. All right. I don't know how I'm going to give you my address. If you had a Twitter account, I could DM you. Oh, man. Oh, my eyes are killing me. Whew. Oh, if you had a Twitter account, yeah. I don't have Twitter, but is there a way to kind of give you my email or phone number or something? I don't know if you're on Facebook or whatnot, Irish. If you are, just kind of, or I can reach out to you, try and find your name, and send you a message. Yeah, I should have I think there is a Macho King I just put up for auction a few days ago, and it came with custom accessories, scepter and crown. I think that was the last scepter and crown I had for sale. Otherwise, I would have thrown that in for you as well. uh, Yeah, Corey. Even when he, even yesterday when he was asking the question, right? Would anybody buy my figure? And I was reading through the comments. There were probably 3 or 4 people in there that said, yeah, they would totally buy a Jason Nut figure. But that helps Random Treasures if she's creating something. But if she goes that route, I just hope it's a different figure, a whole different piece. Like give him like a Ken Patera or something, something simple. But I kind of feel like if this is the exact same design that they create, how do I trademark this? Damn it! No, I wouldn't do that. Well, I would trademark the figure, but I wouldn't sue her or anything. That'd be stupid, especially when you're trying to do business with someone. Now, but that's the whole purpose of going off of Jason Up for the first figure is because he had a much wider range. Don't get me wrong. Even though I have a wider range of or more subscribers, I think that Bone Breaking Action is much more marketable. And like I said, he just has that look, that awesome LJN style figure, right? So this is the one I'm most excited about releasing. If I can't do Jason first, I'll do BBA first. I'll do the Devil, and then I'll do the soldiers. Because the soldiers, you can get them in 3 different army uniforms. When the time comes, I'll put them in DCUs, I'll put them in BDUs, and I'll put them in ACUs. But let's say Ram Chargers creates this figure. Like I said, I'm going to want all 3 variants, right? So would she pay me back that money for the mold as well as send me 3 free figures? Because 3 figures, I mean, that's $390. Even with any of the percentages off, that's still like $300. And for the time and effort that she would put into painting them, shoot. That's I'm obviously I think about other people, right? And I want us all to succeed. And by going through Round Treasures, I'm taking profits away from her. If I go through Sean, who owner of Kayfabe Heroes, if I go through his factory and he's helped me get all this stuff produced, right? I got to pay a portion to him for using his stuff. Or Latoonie, I got to pay a portion to AJ for his stuff. So that's what I'm kind of wanting to do on my own, because that way I'm not really going through any middlemen or anything, and all the profits go back to me. And any profits I make, obviously, I can put back into the business and get the next figure released. But every single week we talk about this, and every single week I've been feeling more and more excited about the potential of this happening. But today, after watching that video, I don't know, I just kind of feel not down on myself. I kind of feel like they really put a hamper in my plans. Because I had 4 good figures ready for release and maybe a 5th specialty release. But now at this point, I got to come up with at least 2 more characters. So I have a Gmail account. Yeah, man, I'll reach out to you, bud. People are not going to pay $100 for these guys' figures. I'm telling you, man, Corey, if it happens, let's say I have nothing to do with it. Ram Treasures gets with Jason. Hey, no, gets with I'm gonna make your figure. Let's say from one mold she creates 25 figures. She will sell out within 2 days. She puts the pieces up. People are going to buy the figure. People who don't even know who Jason Nupp is, but they buy all of Ram Treasure figures, they will buy it. So I have no doubt that she'll sell out 25 figures easy. I think she'll have to come back with a second batch and make another 25 or so. I think even those might sell out. And maybe not sell out. She'll probably get another 5 or 10 sales out of that within a month or so. And you got to think, her figures, $140, 10% off, get them for around, let's call it $125. Of that $125, she nets $100. So, and that's selling on Etsy. Me personally, I would just say, hey, here's my PayPal, friends and family, and that way, if she sells something for 130, she gets 130. That's the bad thing about going through these businesses. You kind of want the seller to get a full balance, or eBay. I mean, I love when Mercari did away with the selling fees last year, because let's say I had a Hulk Hogan figure, right, and I wanted $10 for him. Put him on Mercari, $10. Bam, it'll sell. Whatever the shipping is. Taxes. Problem is, I didn't realize at the time, at the very early stages, that they were charging buying fees. They did away with selling fees, but they included buying fees. And I guess Mercari was making so little sales in 2024 compared to previous years, that in 2025, what they brought back the buying, the selling fees. So now that's selling a figure that I was selling for $10 in 2024. Maybe now I got to sell them for $20 just to make sure that I earn enough money. Also, the post office is smartening up. I used to put 4 ounces for Mercari on all of my packages, regardless of what it was. It could be a 10-pound box. I put 4 ounces. And I did that so that buyers who bought the item can have a very cheap, affordable shipping price. And a lot of the time I was getting away with it, man. They were delivering it, no issues. But recently I noticed that, like, if I'm selling we'll say an LJN, and I put 4 ounces, they pay $4.40 shipping, but it weighs 1 pound, 8 ounces. And now that I'm supposed to be charged $11 on shipping, they'll come back and they'll take those $7 out. So if I say a $15 earns me $11 to $12 in net pay, I have to sell it for $20 because I can't trust that I'm not going to have an additional $5 to $7 taken out of shipping later on. So they take out $7. That $20 figure is down to $13 plus selling fees. So you made about the $10 you were initially asking. So I guess it all balances out in that respect. But I always say a lot to say nothing. I don't know if anybody even followed any of that. Yeah, man, this Malibu stuff is really kicking in. I like this. I mean, it's not bad tasting, and it seems to be doing the trick. Oh man, too much. Oh. You think Mattel will re-release most of the original LJNs? Like, you see a Jimmy Snuka coming out? Oh God, I hope not. Dude, I hope they will never make the Okay, I'm not against them creating Jimmy Snuka. If they do, it's got to be a brand new figure. There's a Jimmy Snuka. I don't know if Kevin Pelkey or Sin Bodie made it, but there was a really awesome Jimmy Snuka custom on Facebook that I've seen plenty of over the last several months. Something like that would be perfectly fine. But if they came back with the exact same pose as the original LJN, I mean, would I even buy that? I want to say yes because it's part of the series, but at the same time, that is my least favorite LJN figure. So they're in Series 2, they're coming out with Ultimate Warrior, so it only makes sense. Of course, Hulk Hogan's your biggest superstar. You got to have him in Series 1. That's not even a question. And your modern day superstar, who's your greatest superstar modern day? John Cena. So it makes sense that those two guys are in Series 1. I don't know what the hell Logan Paul was all about. That was stupid as hell. I guess they're trying to advertise to, like, the YouTube crowd or the Twitch crowd, whatever, streaming crowd. young Gen, what were they called? Is it Gen Z crowd or something? But I mean, we all see it, man. Those darn figures are still available at Target because nobody wants to buy them. And the only people that are buying that crap are completionists. Hey, I'm getting all these figures from the series, so yeah, I gotta. And I think I only got one of his, and or maybe I got two. But I think that one comes in both a blue and black card. So let's say I get two and I get both blue and black card. I got to go out and buy a third one because I don't want to touch the blue or black card variants. Now, if they're both blue card, yeah, I will open up one of them. But yeah, that Dusty Rhodes, I think came on a blue and black card. I only got two of those. So, I mean, would I have to buy four of them just to ensure that I got like one of each if possible? A Heartbreak Hate LJN would be a great one. Shoot. I mean, I've seen a lot of customs for Shawn Michaels. It's got to be a big business like Mattel or someone. Someone like that has to create Shawn Michaels. Maybe someone like Latoonie or could do a good job. Maybe even Big Rubber guys could do a good job, possibly. But the customs that I mean, for custom work, yeah, you praise the guy. He does good work. But like, as far as being a legitimate figure that would fit right in with the rest of the LGNs, they just don't work. I love these figures, but when you look at the faces, right, they're customs. They're clear customs. They don't fit in with the original LGNs, which I really want. Oh, but the 3D prints I got from Kevin's over the last couple of days, right, for the Devil is going to be improved. Where did I put that piece? So on this one, when you look at the horns, right, they're just like sticking to the head, kind of going off to the side. But Kevin, he's gonna correct that for me so that the horns are actually sticking out correctly, right? And I've already talked about the hand positioning. This was supposed to be, Greg Valentine left hand up, but instead on the right side. So his hand was supposed to be way up here, and we see where it's at. And this was supposed to be an SD Jones chokeslam. I mean, look how nice and big and thick that arm is, right? Big hand, right? This is just very thin, small, and I mean, they are prototypes. I will continue to say that they are, in my estimation, prototypes because they're not 100% to the specifications I would want. But if you could put a cane in here or something and make this like more of like even if we use this one, put a cane in his hand, make him like a Freddie Blassie type, right? This could be a manager. He could be the manager of Bone Breaking Action. This doesn't have to be an actual wrestling figure. But do I dare put something rubber in the hand, like a rubbery cane, like built on, like the Jimmy Snuka, Jesus Christ, the Jimmy Hart megaphone? Have a build on like that, or maybe the microphone for Mean Gene. Have an actual build into the hand, so that way you have like a rubber cane or trident. I don't know. We'll use a cane. That it's not removable, but it'll never break. I'm sure a lot of people would absolutely hate that. Me personally, I'd be okay with it as a collector, as a fan, but for someone that's wanting to display like as playable figures or something, I'm pretty sure they would hate that built in. What are some of your favorite online places to buy figures? Pretty much everything I buy comes off eBay. Now, if I see a Facebook posting, obviously for like KWK figures or new Mattel Creations releasing their line, yeah, you go to the Mattel Creations website and you buy from there. I mean, it's better to buy they're already listing those figures on eBay. One figure, $35. You could have bought the package brand new, 4 of them for $60, and you're selling this one piece for $35, I'm not for that. If I had duplicates and I was selling them on eBay, I'd probably put up like 20, 22.50, and let's say 22.50, and it sells for, and I get $17 out of that. Knowing that I paid $15 from Mattel, okay, it's a $2 profit. I'm not taking a loss though. But as far as listing it for $30, $40 for one piece, I'm like, come on, guys, this is why resellers are getting such a bad name. I mean, resellers are a necessity. I've quickly learned that over the last year, but resellers do get a lot of heat. There's this one video I watched where this guy was basically criticizing resellers and whatnot, and I wanted to slap the hell out of him, but he had a good video and it made a lot of sense, and it's for reasons like that. But yeah, see, everything I find off of eBay or I find off Facebook or something. So I'm trying to think like ringside. I think outside of eBay, like ringside collectibles might be like the only other thing that I go in on a consistent basis, because I'm always going there to buy retro protective cases. And occasionally I might buy something else like the Mattel retro 2-packs, for example, or I don't know, maybe there's an Elite figure that I came across I found interesting, especially if you need to hit that $60 threshold to get free shipping. And let's say you're at $45 or $55, 55 or $57.90. And you're like, damn, I can't get that free shipping. So now I got to buy something else to get over $60. So you try to find something cheap that you can add to it, like a bell-to-bell figure or something. But yeah, eBay is pretty much where I live on. Shoot. And the occasional Facebook seller, like some of my holy grail, well, I don't say holy grails, but some of my oddities, like the Billy Jack Haynes with the double marking on, or double stamp on his trunks. Like I got that from a seller off of Facebook in who's in Canada. Or I bought a 2-pack Thumb Wrestlers mint on card, Paul Orndorff, and I forget who that one was, but it was a Paul Orndorff one. I didn't have any Paul Orndorff MOC Thumb Wrestlers. So getting that from that same seller, was an awesome pickup. That 2-pack LJN Heart Foundation seller in Canada, he reached out to me. Hey man, I watch your channel. I got this item for sale. Are you interested? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh man, there is a Strike Force. I haven't checked on that in days. But it was like a starting bid of like $800 or $900, and that thing is probably going to go for about $3,000. I mean, I won't pay no damn $3,000. I mean, once it gets to $1,000, like I'm not even looking at it anymore. But if I win that Strike Force, hypothetically, that would only leave the Dream Team and Killer Bees for me to finish off the 2-pack carded figures. Ever consider selling through Whatnot? I've heard of Whatnot, and I think I even tried to create an account once, but it just looked so friggin' confusing, and I'm like, Like, is it something like you list an item and somebody places a bid and the countdown goes back? I don't know. It just feels weird, What's up?
Hello. Your little summer baby pooped behind the TV.
She's disgusting.
I had to clean it.
That's very disgusting. You should knock her upside the head.
I'm not going to do that.
My little summer baby. Oh, I broke. You need my help anytime soon?
No. I'm just calling to confirm that. Wait. I'm right here.
Dude, I know I'm drunk. What the hell's your...
I came in here to confirm that I was going to bed and to say good night.
Cool. You might have to check on me in like an hour in case I pass out.
Okay. And look, you've got Cubby Kitten.
You can leave her in here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye, baby.
Bye-bye. Pet the baby.
Oh, color covers. Oh, hold over, please. Look at my little cubby baby. She is so friggin' jealous of the new kittens. Like she won't even come into the room if they're in there. Or if she jumps on the couch and she's like sitting next to us, she'll sit there and she'll watch the kittens run and jump all over the place. I'm like, dude, you're way too darn big to be swiping at those little babies. You want to stay on screen? You want to say hi to the people? Say hi to the people. Wave to them. Okay. Thank you. There you go. Go sleep on the tower. All right. How do companies not get sued for doing customs of superstars likeness? They're under license. It's just that they're customs. Like Big Rubber Guys and Latoonie. I think Grapplers and Gimmicks falls under that line. Zombie Sailors. The one good thing I like about Zombie Sailors is that they're part of that, where they're all license agreements, contracts with wrestlers with their families. But when you got like Sin Bodie or Kevin Pelkey, Print Fury, or Ram Treasures, they're all customs. And I've said this before, like if I just took a Hulk Hogan figure, cut off the head, put my head on this, it would just be a custom. So that would be perfectly fine, right? But then again, that would be a me. That wouldn't be a Hulk Hogan figure anymore. But they just get around the red tape by calling them customs or by being customs. So they don't actually have to have a actual licensing agreement. Or, you go to Sears, you buy a pair of pants. I don't know if that's the same thing. No, that's not the same thing. But yeah, that's not that bad example. Horrible example. That's it. That's in a nutshell. They're customs, so they can get away with it for that purpose. How about a Rocky and Hulk Hogan Thunderlips LJN? Steven, you're gonna have to check out Thunder. You're gonna have to check out Ram Treasures right now, because they did make a. What was it? I think it was Hulk Hogan like this, right? So Hulk Hogan has one of the Ken Patera one man gang type poses, and I think they had like 3 different variants. One was the second variant of their New Japan Pro Wrestling Hogan, their Ichiban Hogan. One of them was a blue pants, late 1970s Hulk Hogan, and the other one was a red and white Rocky Hulk Hogan figure, Thunderlips. Now remember, I bought 3 different versions of Roddy Piper when I bought from Ram Treasures, so it's very well possible that I could end up buying all 3 of those versions of Hulk Hogan. But I am not a fan of this particular pose, Anything that's like Sting, Macho Man, hands up like so, it just you can't do anything with them. Like as playable pig, like that's horrible. Like I don't like that. You gotta pretend to be your body slam. Man. So that's why I always wanted to have like a real fighting pose, something that can actually work. Your SD Jones, your Hulk Hogan, your Greg Valentine, Ultimate Warrior would be a good one. Even Warlord with the hands like so, even that's not that great, but it's adequate. It's serviceable. Let's see what we got here. Do you have a Gmail account? I'll look you up, dude. Hey Irish, yeah man, it's just my it's just matt.r.watson85 at Gmail. So yeah. First name.r.watson or matt.r.watson85. So that's pretty much do you have any of the title run toys? I do not. And based on that video that Matt Cardona did, we just basically broke them up into a bunch of pieces. I don't know if he was just being like very violent with the figures or something, or if they're really that poorly made, because they seem to come to pieces like nothing. And If that's the quality that the company's making, I don't think I have much interest in buying that. But I seen a lot of figures that they have, like that referee guy, Davis. So they got Davis, and I know he's not a referee. He's regular wrestler type in with that figure. But they got Danny Davis. They had Paul Orndorff being a couple that really stood out to me. So absolutely, I think maybe they got a Maximal Dragon or someone. I could be wrong about that last one, but yeah, I definitely want those figures. I think they look really cool. But or recently they're coming out with like a what was it Johnny B. Bad? And I think a lot of people have been criticizing the hell out of it, like it's absolute crap. I don't know what the issue is. I looked at the figure, I thought it looked amazing, but like everybody was hating on the body type, they're hating on the head sculpts. I'm like, maybe I'm just easier to please or something. I don't know. I want the line. I haven't got any of them, and at this point, like I said, there's just way too many retro lines out there. Cubby, do you want out? You're like walking all over the place. My little cubby baby left me. Little ass. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I made it through all the comments. Man, my freaking wife, she's like super jealous of me, but because the new babies, they're like, they really adapted to me or whatnot. Like whenever she tries to pick them up, hold them, whatnot, like they don't stay with her. They always, come and over on me, sit on my lap, have to sit there, wrestle each other on my lap, gotta climb my shoulder. Sometimes when they're sleepy, they'll sit there and like I'll have one cat, I'll have Summer like sleeping in my arm here. And Morty, he'll be like up on my shoulder, so I have to hold him like so. So I'll be sitting there holding the babies like this. My wife will look at me. You want to put them in the playpen? I'm like, nah, they're sleeping comfortably. All the cats, my wife, they always want to like sit on her lap and everything. They never want to sit with me, right? So now that I got these cats, I'm like, these babies, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm sucking that shit up. Because as soon as they get big, they're gonna migrate to her. They're gonna sit on her lap all the time, and I'm gonna be left alone again. Little assholes. Yeah, but it was so nice. I was able to find those two little babies, and it just happened by chance. Like I said, I was just cutting down a tree because the guys from Tom Drexler were coming in to redo my electricity in the house. And last time they were there, building my outdoor outlet and stuff, they basically pulled down the tree that was over there, the bush, and it was like instead of being straight up, it was completely tilted forward. And I'm like, I don't want this to grow weird, so I just ended up cutting it down. And the next day they were there, so they didn't have to worry about that being in the way. The babies, they were just right there in the corner. Who was I supposed to talk about? So we talked about Mattel, I think. We talked about Series 18 Mattel Retros. We've talked about Latoonie already. Talked about our line and Maniac Wrestling and Xbox Customs. They might be intertwined at one point. You guys know how I always like to do, fair, honest assessment with action figures, right? My concern is that we get a figure made from my line and it goes through Xbox Customs, and I get the figure in hand and I'm doing a review on it, and it's not to my expectations, or for whatever reason, I don't like the figure. So, like, how do I complain about something that's from my line, right? But at the same time, like, I gotta be true. Oh, the second bone breaking action that we're making is going to be his more famous green and white, and we're also fixing the mask down here because these little tassels should be connected to the mask itself. It shouldn't be a build on to the t-shirt, and we talked about that during the Wednesday review, me and Bone Break in action. But it was just something I wanted to point out again. So that's going to be rectified. What kind of accessory is he going to get? Is he going to have a Pitbull accessory? Right now, I talked to BBA and he wants some time to think about it because he might just stick with that same exact design, no accessories. But I think accessories are really going to make the figures pop a whole lot more. So really excited about that. Damn, you know what? I'm just thinking about tomorrow. I didn't film my magazine review video. Last week was the first time in like 2 months I posted a magazine review, and I wanted to get back into it, and I haven't filmed tomorrow's video yet. And we're at 10 o'clock at night, so I really don't want to go back downstairs and film a video right now. So I guess there just won't be a video for Sunday. I also haven't made a new short video in a couple of days, so I think tomorrow will be 3 days in a row without a short. You guys have any ideas of anything you would like to see in a short video? Because I've looked at all my holy grails. I've looked at all my signatures, at least the ones I could actually find, right? I looked at the different air figures and air cards. There have been a couple of videos where people requested certain people be looked at, like Hardy Boys, Legion of Doom. And I didn't even get all my Legion of Doom figures because I ran out of space from where I was filming. So I only fit as much as I could. Like I didn't show the bell-to-bell figures or nothing. And there's probably a couple of other Jack specific that I had, but I didn't pull. But if you guys have anything that you're interested in seeing a short video of, let me know. I'll definitely make those for you. All right. I know, guys, it's not so much fun when I'm not like drunk and passed out. At least that way people can, have a little bet going on. Like, when is this son of a gun going to wake up? Ooh. All right. What else is going on in life? Pool deck. The guys have not worked on the pool deck in about a week, over a week. Going on almost 10 days now. The last I heard is there were specific screws or spindles that were supposed to go with the pool deck that they don't have, and we were waiting for those to come in. I'm getting so frustrated with this whole process. I mean, the cost alone is absolutely ridiculous. The product that I'm seeing right now, I'm not overly enthusiastic about. Like all the open space underneath the deck, I don't know if that stuff is going to be filled in, if they're going to put like little sideboards to block that off. Right now, I kind of feel like that extra tile that I paid for, that was like massively expensive. Based on what they have so far and what's left over, I kind of feel like there's going to be a massive amount of leftover supplies. I'm not keeping that stuff. I highly doubt they're going to throw that stuff away, given its value. But I don't think that they would reimburse me for that either. I don't know if that's the thing. Like I said, I don't normally go through contractors for this type of stuff, so I normally don't have like leftover supplies. I want to finish this bottle with you guys before we end. I don't know how much I have left. All right. I don't know if I want to drink all that. I think that's pretty much it, guys. I don't have anything else to talk about unless you guys have anything. Hey, what's happening, Ross? I mean, we're 2 hours in. I think that was enough, right? So once again, guys, I'm going to try. This is the plan for now. I'm gonna try a regular Monday live stream, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So that's gonna be Mondays, and Wednesdays will also be 7 p.m. But I'm gonna try and include being Bone Breaking Action every Wednesday. So he's off work, and that was a freaking lot of fun having a co-host for the live stream. So hey Ross, hey man, you didn't really miss anything, man. It's a 2 hour live stream. You can always go back and watch. Not a big deal. But so right now, me and BBA are hoping to do Wednesday live streams together. It's going to be filmed on the cell phone again because you cannot send an invite from your computer. It has to be on the cell phone only. I'm like, YouTube, that is stupid as hell. So this Wednesday, we were planning on talking about horror movies. So it probably won't be wrestling related, but I mean, if you guys are in the comments and whatnot with asking questions about wrestling, what have you, I mean, shoot, it's really an open forum. But we're going to do horror movies this Wednesday. Monday is open. Probably just be a basic conversation, just kind of like what we're doing now. I don't know if I'm going to be drinking on Monday, though, but maybe I will. I don't want the Monday live streams to go super long. I mean, I'm probably thinking about 1-2 hours, type of deal. Wednesdays, probably same thing. I really think Saturdays are really like the only day that I can really say, hey, we can go 4 hours if we wanted to, but you're cool, Ross, man. Shoot. As of right now, guys, I think I'm at my limit. I don't have anything else to talk about, so I don't want to just keep blabbering on about nothing. You know what? There was something I wanted to talk about. Damn. I actually took photos. Yeah, this one right here, baseball related. This pissed me off. Cardinals manager Ali Marmol intentionally walks Michael Bush, who was a single shy of the cycle in the 8th inning. You know how much of a freaking pain in the ass that is? You have Michael Bush, home run, double, home run, triple. Comes up for his 5th plate appearance in the 8th inning, and they intentionally walk him instead of letting him try to go for a simple single. A single. That's all he needed. I don't think he would have gotten it, but he was already 4 for 4, but maybe he would have. Or hell, he would have hit the ball in the gap and would have gone for 2 or 3. But the fact that this stupid ass manager took that out of his hands, it would be one thing. It'd be smart baseball if the Cardinals were actually vying for a playoff spot, division championship or wild card spot or something. But they have no chance at success. They have no chance of moving forward to the postseason, right? So who cares? If he gets a single, make him earn it. Throw the pitch. Pitch to the man, make him earn a hit. If he gets the hit, bam, he has something to be proud of. How many people in their lives get a down cycle? Who was that, man? Like years ago, I don't know if it was Kurt Schilling or maybe Randy. I don't know. I think Ben Davis, catcher for the Seattle Mariners. It was like the 8th or 9th inning, and he lays down a bunt and gets a base hit. I could have the name wrong, could have the teams wrong, whatever. The point is, you got a perfect game going, and somebody lays down a bunt to get the first hit of the game. And then as some have gone, his argument was, we're in a playoff race. We don't have time to basically give a perfect game to the opponent. But if you're going to get hit, freaking earn your hit. There's certain rules I think everyone should follow. I mean, they're called unwritten rules for a reason, right? I mean, that's just crazy. But yeah, that's where I'm at on that. That's all. Someone come up with some topics. I'm out, dude. I don't have anything else to talk about right now. I mean, for the most part, it was a pretty slow week. The stuff with Ram Treasures and with Print Fury and stuff. I mean, that was really like the big topic of discussion for the video. Because I want to keep you guys updated with what's happening. Ooh. Yeah, that's it, guys. Damn, how many times can I say in one sentence or in one sitting? Hey, comedy, shoot. You know what's messed up? Well, not messed up, but what's funny about that is that video has like 10 million freaking comments left on that video. I don't think I'll be able to manage responses anymore. Like, I am not even joking. I mean, once upon a time, you know, when I had 50 subscribers, 500 subscribers, whatever, 900 subscribers, there might be on a video that gets a lot of comments, what, 10 comments? Some videos got like 20. But I always try my best to respond to every single comment if I can. Now, obviously, some comments, they don't require a response. So I'll just sit there, like their comment, and so, you know, acknowledge that I read their comment, type of deal, right? Like, leave a heart, whatever. But with the more and more subscribers I'm getting, more and more viewers, more and more comments, it is really hard to keep up with all the responses. At some point, I'm going to have such an influx of comments that I'm not going to be able to respond to everybody. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to keep up with that forever, especially if I plan on growing the channel the way I have. But it just sucks that if I get to like 5,000 subscribers one day and suddenly my comments are hitting like 100 plus comments per, and I'm not responding to anybody. I don't want anybody to feel like I'd be ignoring them, just that I'm not getting all the notifications, or maybe I missed the notification, or maybe I overlooked the comment or something. But eventually, yeah, I might be so drained from responding to everybody. But that being said, please leave comments, okay? I, by no stretch of the imagination, am saying do not comment. I want you guys to comment, and I love the interaction, so leave as many comments as you like for as many videos as you like. I'm not complaining about having comments. The complaint for me is the possibility of not being able to respond to everybody. And one of the fun part of my channel is that I do that. So I followed today's Cub game, but didn't watch. Thought they intentionally walked Bush because he'd been killing them all day. Didn't think about the cycle. Shoot, yeah. I mean, they weren't up that much. What was it, like 5-3 or something? I kept, you know, when you're on your phone, right, and you're on your phone, you kind of like, you know, scroll to the left or whatever. What's that called? Or scroll to the right. It takes you to like this this area that gives you like all the different news reports and stuff, right? So I kept seeing 12-1, not realizing it was yesterday's ball game that was 12-1. But I knew that because I saw the previews, of course. No, I just saw it right there. They won 7-3. All right, that's it, guys. I got to shut up, stop talking. So I am going to end this live stream here. And I swear to God, if I were to say one more time in this live stream, I would have to create a drinking video about myself. Let's get drunk to how many times this asshole says But the word is a transitional word, right? Instead of just pausing and it's just stop talking and, you know, thinking about your next comment, you say you transition to the next thought or whatever. So I know it's perfectly acceptable, but when you say it way too many times, it gets annoying. Guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys Monday, hopefully at 7 p.m. And again on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And special guest, Bone Breaking Action, will be joining me for that one. I've been trying to get Kirk's Corner on this channel for a couple weeks now, but he's been feeling sick lately, so I wasn't able to have him today, but maybe I'll be able to get him to join me for Monday's live stream. I think that'd be really cool. So, as always, guys, thanks again. I will talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody.